All right, greetings. So today we are going to look at client sockets, client and sockets. So anytime you hear sockets, think of the TCP or UDP, right? The session, the connection, the handshake, or the connectionless, or the connectionless protocol, right? That transport, right? Whether it's I acknowledge it, TCP is, hey, I acknowledge that I received the packet, or UDP is just dump your mail and just hope that it gets there, right? If you live in Brooklyn, like the mailman in Brooklyn, right? They just dump your mail and then we pick it up or you don't pick up. There's no acknowledgement, right? So anytime you hear sockets, think of TCP or UDP, right? And this is how we create a client socket. And why do we have these? Right? Where we have them when we want to communicate to the server, right? So say we have a message for the server, right? And this is, so we prepare a message, we prepare the message with /n, right? Because say for example, our host right here, listen run code ninja wants a /n in order for a response. So we have to have a client message, right? You have a message and we encode it in a way that the server wants to get a response, right? And then we go ahead and send a client message. So we have to realize that the client is saying something. The client says to the server, right? The client message, right? So the server message is, so the server, when it's sent to the server takes that and processes it and sends us a result. Remember, return, right? This is the return statement. Here's what the server has to return. That'll come in a server message that will come in as a byte string. Remember encoding, remember bytes. Whenever you want to encode, you want to encrypt, you want to hash bytes. So we have to go ahead and decode that. And now server says a server message. So now if we go ahead and run this, you can see at this point, right, where I gave the number of sysrv command line arguments, sysrv at index 1, that's my host in this case, and the port is sysrv at index 2. So these don't always have to be files. They are arguments, they're user arguments, right? And if I wanted to speak to the server on a different port and so on, right, I'd get a different message and so on. I get a different message, right? There's a flag we call port 9005, right? So basically, this is how using this format right here, this template right here, this is our basis to how we create a client socket. And then say, for example, right, we're talking back and forth, right? Say, pick a number, right? Pick a number from 1 to 25. Right, pick a number from 1 to 25, we might have to set up a loop and keep talking back until we get the flag. Or for another example, right, server says add 1, right, you have to take that number that the server says, add 1, and send it back, right? So usually when we have these, there's going to be a lot of loops involved, but this at its basis is how we're able to talk to a server. All right, so what I want you to do is I want you just one time, not do this 5, right? Or you could create this, right, by yourself, set this up by yourself, and then on the command line, right, put 5 different arguments, right? So instead of listen run code ninja, right, you say google.com at port 9008, right? And depending if there's a service running, right, it might be frozen. So if you freeze, right, you might have to do Control-C. But in case Control-C doesn't work, in your terminal, what you want to do is you want to type in taskkill-im and then Python, the name of your Python. Okay. Or in this case, right, let's see what happened here. But just in case you get it, next time you want to say kill im task. So go ahead and clear, go to screen. In case Python doesn't work, im, you want to take the name of your Python interpreter, right? Python3.exe, exe f, run this command, and that will kill any sessions that you have a problem with. Right, so in this case, right, connection attempts failed because it connected after the period of time, did not properly respond out of period, right? On the host just failed to respond. So basically, there's no service. So that you're going to get that sometimes, but if your computer does free this up and that task kill command, you can pause the screen to find it. So go ahead, do 5, and after that, we're going to move to the next exercise.